All right. Hey, everybody. Got a really short video today, around 10 minutes ish. Just today painting Wiseacre's wizarding equipment. And yeah, it really only took about 6.5, maybe 7 hours at most to get this painted today. And so yeah, and that's really all this is just me painting this today. And you don't see me mount it to the base, but I do end up mounting it to the street, and then you'll see after that here in a bit that I'll add other stuff to the outside of the building. But there's really nothing much to talk about in this video except just me painting the building. And this building, it was, I thought it was going to be hard to paint, but in reality it was a lot easier to paint. It was mostly just getting the first shade of blue on, and then getting a lighter shade of blue on, but like in splotches, like it was a splotched paint job and a weathered paint job, and then getting the windows painted, the molding painted, wood, and then getting all the gold stars and stuff painted on there, which, let's be honest, the majority of them are dots because it's so small. But yeah, this building, I'm following the same colors that Universal has in their park, so yeah, that's really about it. And speaking of Universal, in other news, they've opened up, and I ended up buying a pass. So I've already gone to Universal like 5 or 6 times since they've opened, and man, I'll tell you what, I've been so happy to just get out of the house and, you know, get to doing things. And oh, that's a lot of paint. I've realized how much paint that I waste, but that's because sometimes I'll run my ceiling fan. So I think that if I don't use enough paint on my quote palette, it's actually a paper plate, but I feel like if I don't use enough paint, it'll dry too quickly on the plate, and then I won't have it. So painting behind those columns was a bit hard, but when I think I got it enough to where you can't see that the back side of them isn't quite painted. In other news, SeaWorld has opened up and they have not called me to come back to work yet, so I'm hoping I can get this whole Diagon Alley model done before they contact me to come back to work. So in the meantime, I'm just going to keep collecting unemployment and try to get this model done. So a lot of you have been asking about some of the Planet Coaster projects that I've had going on, like Happily Ever After, Gambit, let's see, Fury 325. So all of those projects, especially Haunted Mansion, have been put on hold, and Haunted Mansion I think will be on a permanent hold. I don't think I'm ever going to finish it because Frontier will not be adding any Omnimover systems to the game, as far as I'm aware. So I could still finish Haunted Mansion. I don't know. If at the very least, the first project I'm going to try to get finished is Fury 325, so that I can get that uploaded to the workshop and get that for all of you guys to see. Now, Gambit, I'll have to do a separate video on Gambit for Silverette, but that has taken a totally different turn entirely, and I'll go into detail on that in a separate video. And I'm still planning on doing more videos of Happily Ever After, like the behind the scenes featurettes, showing how I've how I've done a lot of the effects and how I'm going to try to get the show done whenever I can. Again, right now my main focus is Diagon Alley, and you may see in the future I might do some Dead by Daylight videos. The Destroy All Humans remake will be coming out around the end of July, I think. Maybe June, July? I think it's July. So I'm going to be getting that, and you should be seeing some Let's Plays of that. That's a game that I grew up with and on the PS2, and I'm so glad they've remastered it and brought it back so I can play it on PC, because I don't have a PS2 right now, so I can't play it. So once that releases, I'll be getting that game and playing it. Speaking of all of this fun stuff, I have finally realized that I need to upgrade my computer. And my computer is 7 years old. It's I don't remember the exact specs that I'm running right now, but it's it's old enough to the point that it's beyond upgrading. I just need to build from scratch entirely. So I've got some budget set aside. I'm not going to disclose the amount yet, but I've got some budget set aside that I've been saving up, so I can go ahead and just buy a brand new computer, buy all the parts, build it myself, and if I'm able to, I might do a build vlog on it, but I need to get new batteries for my camera, because my camera that I use for all of the cinematic recordings that I do, those batteries are like 5 years old by now, 6 years old, and they can't keep a charge in them anymore. I can charge them and then they'll die within 20 seconds. So I need to get new batteries for my camera to be able to use it again and do my theme park vlogs. Like, I may start doing theme park videos again at some point, like I did at Carowinds a long time ago. The camera that I'm using to record Diagon Alley is just my Logitech C920, and I believe my computer is having a hard time with this camera. It's either that or the power supply. That's why I need to upgrade the computer. But I use the Logitech camera because, you know, I can just get some low res footage and speed it up. Although I may upgrade that webcam eventually to do higher resolution video recording for time lapse. Because right now I'm very limited on what I can do with zooming in without it being too blurry. That's why you don't see me zooming in a lot during the time lapse footage. Because I know a lot of you would like to see that, but with how some of these buildings are shaped, like look at this one, it's shaped like the front of a ship. It's really hard for me to plan where I'm going to have the camera, because like you see here, I'm holding it against my chest trying to paint it. So that's why you don't see me zooming in on the footage very much. Now, in terms of what I'm going to do for the next buildings, I'm going to do the buildings on the other side of Gringotts, but you don't see them in the movies. There's no blueprints of them. So what I might do, I'm not really sure what I'm going to build there, because there's also not a lot of space in the model right there for a building. So I'm going to think about what I'm going to put there. I have an idea of what I'm going to do, but I'm not going to say it yet. I'll leave it as a surprise in the next video. All those stars. Here in a second, you'll see that I've already put it on the base of Diagon Alley, right next to Gringotts. Here in just a second. So I just did it off camera, and I waited for the glue to dry. So now what I'm doing is Gringotts is supported by some wood beams on one side. So that's what I'm building here. I'm building 3 wooden beams between the 2 buildings that holds Gringotts up, and that's really all that it took to get this building done. So I've got some pictures at the end of this, and well, the next video, I don't know when it'll be out, because it all depends on how long it takes me to build the next building, whatever it may be. It's really hard for me to judge, you know, how long it's going to take me to build these things. Like Gringotts took about 90 hours total to build and paint, whereas this building took not even a quarter of that time. So yep, here we are, just getting some of that stuff painted, and then just painting the back. Even though it's already black on the back, I went ahead and painted it just for uniformity. So this is the last thing that I do, and I hope you guys enjoy the pictures, and I'll see you guys in the next video.